The little fireflies glow. In a lush forest teeming with life, there lived a tiny firefly named Spark. Spark was born with a special gift, a glow so bright it could light up even the darkest corners of the forest. But despite his radiant light, Spark often felt small and insignificant compared to the towering trees and majestic creatures around him. One evening, as Spark danced among the trees, he noticed a group of woodland animals gathered in a clearing. Curious, Spark flew closer and discovered that they were preparing for a grand festival to celebrate the beauty of the forest. Excited by the prospect of joining in the festivities, Spark offered to help in any way he could. But as he flitted from one task to another, he couldn't shake the feeling that his tiny light was not enough to make a difference. Determined to prove himself, Spark embarked on a quest to find the brightest light in the forest. He searched high and low, asking every creature he met if they possessed a light brighter than his own. But no matter where he looked, Spark could not find a light that outshone his own. Exhausted and disheartened, Spark returned to the clearing, where the festival was already in full swing. As he watched the animals dance and sing beneath the twinkling stars, Spark realized that his light, though small, was enough to bring joy to those around him. With a renewed sense of purpose, Spark joined the festivities, his glow illuminating the night like a beacon of hope. And as the animals danced and laughed, they marveled at the beauty of Spark's light, for they knew that even the smallest flame could brighten the darkest night. And so, dear children, remember the tale of Spark the little firefly, and let it remind you that no matter how small you may feel, your light has the power to illuminate the world and bring joy to those around you. In a land of rolling hills and lush forests, there was a mountain shrouded in mist where a lonely dragon named Draco resided. Draco was not like the other dragons who soared through the skies with companionship and camaraderie. Instead, he spent his days in solitude, hidden away in his cavernous home. One day, while Draco was out exploring the forest near his mountain, he stumbled upon a hidden glen filled with flowers of every color imaginable. Intrigued by the beauty of the place, Draco cautiously approached, his heart heavy with loneliness. As Draco wandered through the glen, he heard the sound of laughter echoing through the trees. Following the sound, he came upon a group of woodland creatures, rabbits, squirrels, and birds, frolicking in the sunlight. Curious but wary, Draco watched from a distance, longing to join in the joyous revelry, but unsure if he would be welcomed. Sensing Draco's hesitation, a wise old owl perched nearby approached him. "Greetings, young dragon," said the owl in a voice as soft as a whisper. "Do not be afraid, for you are among friends here." With a flutter of his wings, the owl introduced Draco to the other creatures, who welcomed him with open arms. Over time, Draco grew to love his newfound friends, and together they explored the wonders of the forest, from hidden waterfalls to secret caves. But as the days turned into weeks and the weeks into months, Draco's thoughts turned to his mountain home. Despite the warmth and companionship of his friends, he knew that he could never truly belong in the forest. With a heavy heart, Draco bid farewell to his friends and returned to his mountain, where he discovered a surprising sight awaiting him. Nestled among the rocks at the entrance to his cavern was a tiny dragon egg, its shell shimmering with iridescent colors. Realizing that he was not alone after all, Draco vowed to protect the egg with all his might, for he knew that in its tiny form lay the hope of a new beginning, not just for himself, but for all lonely souls searching for belonging. And so, dear children, remember the tale of Draco the lonely dragon, and let it remind you that even in the darkest of times, there is always hope for a brighter tomorrow. In a small village nestled between rolling hills and meandering streams, there was a magical garden hidden away from the hustle and bustle of daily life. This garden was no ordinary garden. It was tended by a group of enchanted creatures who lived harmoniously among the flowers and trees. At the heart of the garden lived a gentle gnome named Gus. Gus had spent his entire life caring for the garden, nurturing its plants, and ensuring that its beauty remained unrivaled. But despite his best efforts, Gus often felt lonely, for he longed for companionship beyond the garden's borders. One day, while tending to the roses, Gus spotted a young girl named Lily peeking through the garden gate. Lily's eyes widened with wonder as she beheld the splendor of the garden, and Gus knew in an instant that he had found a kindred spirit. With a warm smile, Gus invited Lily into the garden, where she marveled at the colorful blooms and playful creatures that called it home. Together, Gus and Lily spent hours exploring every corner of the garden, sharing stories and laughter as they forged a bond that transcended words. As the seasons changed and the garden bloomed anew, Gus and Lily's friendship blossomed alongside the flowers. They planted seeds of kindness and understanding, nurturing them with love and care until they grew into a friendship as strong as the ancient oak tree that shaded the garden. But their idyllic days were soon threatened by a dark shadow looming on the horizon. An evil sorceress had set her sights on the garden, intent on stealing its magic for her own nefarious purposes. Undeterred by the sorceress's wicked intentions, Gus and Lily rallied the garden's inhabitants to defend their home. With courage in their hearts and magic in their veins, they stood united against the sorceress, refusing to let her darkness extinguish the light of their friendship. In the end, it was not brute force or powerful spells that saved the garden, but the unwavering bond between Gus and Lily and their unwavering belief in the power of love and friendship. With a final flourish of magic, the sorceress was banished, and the garden was safe once more. And so, dear children, remember the tale of Gus and Lily and the magical friendship garden, and let it remind you that true friendship is a gift more precious than any treasure, and that together, we can overcome even the greatest of challenges. In a bustling town nestled between towering mountains and winding rivers, there lived a young girl named Emily. Emily was known throughout the town for her infectious laughter and boundless optimism, but despite her cheerful demeanor, she couldn't shake the feeling that something was missing from her life. One day, while exploring the forest on the outskirts of town, Emily stumbled upon an ancient-looking key half buried beneath a bed of moss. Intrigued by the key's ornate design, Emily picked it up and examined it closely, a spark of curiosity igniting within her heart. As she turned the key over in her hands, Emily felt a strange sensation wash over her, as if the key held the secret to unlocking a world of untold wonders. Determined to unravel the mystery, Emily set off on a quest to discover the key's purpose. With each passing day, Emily journeyed further into the forest, encountering all manner of challenges and obstacles along the way. But she never lost sight of her goal, for she knew that the key held the key to unlocking the happiness she so desperately sought. After what felt like an eternity of searching, Emily finally stumbled upon a hidden clearing deep within the heart of the forest. There, nestled among the trees, stood a magnificent door unlike any she had ever seen before. With trembling hands, Emily inserted the key into the door's lock and turned it with a resolute determination. To her astonishment, the door swung open, revealing a breathtaking garden bathed in golden light. As Emily stepped through the doorway, she felt a sense of peace and contentment wash over her. filling the void that had long lingered within her heart. For in that moment, Emily realized that the true key to happiness lay not in material possessions or worldly pursuits, but in the simple joys of friendship, love, and gratitude. With trembling hands, Emily inserted the key into the door's lock and turned it with a resolute determination. To her astonishment, the door swung open, revealing a breathtaking garden bathed in golden light. As Emily stepped through the doorway, she felt a sense of peace and contentment wash over her, filling the void that had long lingered within her heart. For in that moment, Emily realized that the true key to happiness lay not in material possessions or worldly pursuits, but in the simple joys of friendship, love, and gratitude. From that day forth, Emily returned to the garden whenever she needed a reminder of life's beauty and wonder. And though she never discovered who had left the key for her to find, she knew that it had led her to the greatest treasure of all, the key to her own happiness. And so, dear children, remember the tale of Emily and the lost key to happiness, and let it remind you that true happiness lies not in what we possess, but in the moments we share and the love we give and receive. As Emily basked in the warmth of the garden's golden light, she knew that her journey had come to an end. But in her heart, she carried the lessons she had learned and the memories she had made along the way. With a smile on her lips and gratitude in her heart, Emily bid farewell to the magical garden, knowing that its beauty would forever be etched in her mind. And as she made her way back to town, she knew that no matter where life took her, she would always hold the key to happiness within her heart. And so, dear children, remember the tale of Emily and the lost key to happiness, and let it remind you that happiness is not a destination to be reached, but a journey to be embraced with open arms and grateful hearts. With that, our story comes to a close. But the magic of Emily's journey will live on forever in the hearts of all who hear it.